It all started now. This day's a turning point in my life. The day I begin living my life from the inside out. And I am transformed. I am transformed.
Hi everyone, my name is Maria Mirkovich, your host for Family Today, also a life coach. This show is for everyone. It's for parents, grandparents, and young adults. It includes art, culture, entertainment, family dynamics, and spirituality. I would like to invite you in for this show, and we're going to have a wonderful speaker on Feng Shui. And how many of you would like to learn more about that, the art of Feng Shui? And how many of you would like to know how to heal your families with Feng Shui? Here is my guest. Her name is Lois Kramer-Perez, who will teach you on this matter. Thank you so much, and welcome, Lois. Hi, Lois, and welcome back to the show again. And so, what's new?
Well, Maria, thank you so much. It's great to be back. It's wonderful to see you. Lots has happened since I've been here.
Okay.
And I'm very excited to say that I contributed a chapter to a book called Breakthrough Results.
Breakthrough Results.
And my chapter 15, is called the Feng Shui Breakthrough. So here I am, this Feng Shui practitioner in the midst of all of these other business people. We have financial people, communications people, people giving you advice on your home, all different facts of business. And right in the center of it all is the Feng Shui, the Feng Shui Breakthrough. So I'm really excited to tell you a little bit about that.
And it's excellent. I read the chapter 15, and but I would like you to address families out there. How can you heal families out there with Feng Shui? Maybe you could expand on that.
I would love to. One of the things that Feng Shui taught me was to let go of judgment. And when we're working together with families, we want to be sure that we don't start judging each other, that we look at things from a place of love and compassion. And the principles of Feng Shui can show us how things that are happening in our life are information, and how our space is showing up to either support or create a block. So working together as a family, looking at where the family spends the most time. What's going on in that space?
I always say, I'm a life coach, as you know. I always say to families that come to me for healing, I say, you know what? The best thing when a couple is married and have children, the best present you could give your children is a symbol of love. Like you hug your spouse, you kiss, especially a man, you know, show affection in that way. So the biggest gift that you give your child is the love. So when they see that, they really thrive in that. And I think you would agree with this.
Yes, because love is our highest vibration.
Yes.
And our biggest influence to those in our life is not what we say. We don't have to tell anybody anything. It's how we show up and what we do. And Feng Shui can give us examples of things that we can do to be supportive and to notice things that are happening in our life. So if we want to create a good family atmosphere, we want to be sure there's a chair for everyone at the table.
Yes.
That everyone has their own space, that they have a place to sit, their favorite plate, things that they can each relate to, because people just want to be recognized and acknowledged that they're part of the family. Yes.
And heard. So what would you say to those people that do not want to participate in that endeavor, what you just mentioned? There is a husband or a wife or a child that doesn't want to participate. They're angry. They don't want to participate in that environment.
Well, I would ask the person to express how they feel. And I would first take notice of how they normally would express. If they're the type of person that folds their arms, are they open to listening? How do they behave when they are most open and most happy to be part of something? So we want to look towards someone for their strengths and the things that bring them joy. We want to look at the rhythm of how they express themselves.
Each individual.
Yes.
So you could work with them individually.
Yes.
Therefore, they could contribute to the environment of family.
Yes.
Yes.
Because family is very important.
Sure.
And family doesn't necessarily have to be only our parents and our siblings, but family can also be people that we care about. We create a family community by those that support us, that are important to us.
Yes, I always say the human family, the planet, and how can we contribute better? We have to start with ourselves.
Yes.
To work within ourselves, inner work, and also with each individual, as you said, because we could be different. We could be different in personalities. You folded your hands before. Somebody that shuts off the relationship, mostly because they're afraid, I found out. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Yes, fear is our biggest blockage.
Blockage.
Fear will stop us in our tracks. So what we want to all do is to begin to love ourselves and to honor who we are.
Okay, now when I say that to people, they say, I don't know what that means. I don't know what you mean by that. How do I love myself? Isn't that egotistical? Which it's not egotistical if it's healthy love, correct?
Correct.
So how would you address that?
So
Loving yourself.
we know the things that make us feel good.
Yes.
And we know when we give love, we should be able to receive love. It's a circle of reciprocity.
Okay.
So by sharing our love and receiving our love, it's just as important. We create a life that's happy. We want to share that with the people that we care about. So that's very important to acknowledge that.
Excellent. Very good. I always say that some people might be giving but not receiving well. And how would you expand on that? They give and give and give, and then they deplete themselves from giving. So that's not healthy giving, I know that. So, but how would you let them open up to receive now?
So what I like to suggest using the feng shui techniques when I work with families, if we look at how we each express ourselves, there are 5 elements in feng shui that are in our space, that are also in nature, and they're in the person. So a person that has a lot of earth energy, they like to give, 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 give. It's the ultimate mother persona. And they forget to ask. They forget to ask for someone else to help them. They're more comfortable giving than receiving. So if we show them that they are safe, that they can be comfortable in both receiving as well as they give, explaining the beauty of the earth element, now the person is not taking it personally. They can look at themselves with this beauty of the earth element. Where another element might have a lot of metal, that person might be very introverted. They may be very sensitive, so they may speak a little bit differently. So having each person understand these elements that are within them and the beauty of how important it is and how unique they are, it brings another level of conversation.
Yes, yes. So when you say earth elements, a lot of people out there might not understand that. So can you specifically specify that in a different term?
Yes. So we look at nature when we look at feng shui.
Okay.
The first element we typically talk about is water, because water feeds the trees so they can grow. Water is winter and midnight. It's that quiet element of thinking and dreaming. So a person that has a lot of water might be a dreamer, a daydreamer. They like to stay up a little bit later. They're not early birds. They think a lot. They have to process all that they speak about. And they like to be horizontal. They like to be near the water. So this person that may tend to be slow and meandering, and the thinker is someone that you might give the time to process before they answer the question. The second element would be the tree. After the winter comes the spring.
There are people that actually like trees, and they hug them, and they feel this connection to the trees. I
Yes.
do. I do. I think it's really, even when I look outside the window, my kitchen window, there's a big oak tree, and I, look at it and I say, thank you. I thank the tree for being there. And I see it starting to move a little. I think we have the connection. We do have connection to all elements.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So the tree element is all about nature, being outside, early morning, early spring, go, go, go. So people with this tree element, they want to get up and go. They don't like to be inside. They
Yes.
want to be out in nature,
Yes.
walking with the trees. They're driven. They're enthusiastic.
Yes.
They may appear to be arguing when they're speaking, but they just get so excited.
Excited. Yes, 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 yes.
Okay?
Yes, yes.
And they're very determined.
Now, Lois, I know what you're saying. This is very good, but a lot of people might not be, they might be this element that you just mentioned, outgoing, vibrant. But what if something happens in their lives, in their family lives, that is, making them grieve, making them a little bit lethargic because of it, because of grieving? It's natural. How are they perceived in that way? Maybe somebody would perceive them differently, not of what you said, vitality.
Well, we're not only one element. We have all the 5 elements within us.
Okay.
We may express 1, 2, or possibly 3 on a regular basis. And as we go through different times of stress, we may show certain aspects more than others.
Yes.
So a tree person might also have an element of metal. And the metal is the very sensitive, the very introverted. And metal feels everything, not only the environment, but also things on their skin, the way, the clothes that they wear, or if they walk into a place and the aroma, the energy of a lot of people. And the metal energy is where we hold the grief, and that holds in our lungs. So
in the lungs.
In the lungs. So when
So
we find...
it's very key that people would know, because there's a lot of people out there that are grieving, either, somebody's dying, passing away, or detaching from family life. So they're grieving. So that also touches their lungs.
Yes.
Yes.
So if we think about when we hold our breath, when we stop breathing,
Yes, yes.
fear can do that. Grief can do that.
Definitely.
It can stop us in our tracks.
So my element is, I think I'm a fire sign, Leo, but that doesn't have nothing to do with Feng Shui, or does it?
Well, it's not apples to apples in the Western astrology, but there are very much similarities.
Similar, okay.
So the fire element, which would come after the trees, because the fire feeds a tree, so it has fuel, is all about summer and fun, and passion and laughter and singing and dancing and the sparkle in your eyes, Maria. So you have the fire going. And if it isn't fun, you're not interested. So when we talk with fire people, we have to be sure there's an element of interest and fun, and something that will engage their curiosity.
What would make them depressed? Okay, not me, but people that have the fire.
When our fires go out, we go flat.
Flat.
So to keep our fires burning, we want to follow our curiosity.
Yes.
We want to look for people that can lift us up. We want to go towards the light, because fire is light. We feel,
and we like to unite the people. We like to unite. At least from my experience, I like everybody. Like if I'm in a conversation, I like to include everyone. So a lot of people think of it as controlling, and that's not at all. It's just like, I want you to hear what Lois has to say. For example, if we're having coffee, a bunch of ladies, let's say, or husband and wives, couples, and I say, okay, Lois is talking now. So a lot of people might take that as control issue, which it could be a little bit, but I want everybody to hear you. I want to be polite to you. So a lot of times I get misunderstood by that. I don't know.
Well, people will relate based on what they know, first of all.
Oh,
so
definitely.
we have to remember not to take anything personally. And the fire element, being social and lots of fun, wants to shine the light on everything that they're interested in.
Oh,
so, and fire may feel it really big and dramatic, and some people might think, wow, are you exaggerating?
Yes.
No. That's how I feel it. I wish you could feel it as big as I do.
As big as I do, yes. So, would you like to talk about your walk? I think that lastly, you spoke to me about your walk that you did in Ridgewood, Ridgewood.
At the
in
duck
Ridgewood,
pond.
at the
Yes.
duck. Okay.
So I'm a very social person.
Yes, you
And
are.
I find that when I go with my strengths,
Yes.
being social, and everything I do has to be fun, so I have a little bit of fire also, I am drawn to the things that fuel our fires, that warm our hearts. And I met, through a friend of mine, these beautiful women supporting an organization called Durga Tree International.
Maybe we could have that up, the Durga Tree, and there it is. It's
Durga
up on the
Tree
screen.
International
It's right on the
.org.
screen. It's right on the screen right there.
Yes.
So tell me about this walk. It's very interesting, and I think that you are really blessing the people and by giving of yourself.
Yes, so it was an honor to walk, to raise money, to support this cause. Durga Tree International is eradicating human trafficking.
Okay.
All around the world, the United States, as well as internationally, there is such poverty that children are being sold into slavery, into prostitution.
You said internationally.
Yes,
That means the
internationally.
whole planet?
Yes, the
Okay.
whole earth
Okay.
is affected by this.
Okay.
And we would be very surprised to know this is happening in our own backyard, as well as all countries around the world. And Durga Tree has set up programs to eradicate this from happening, because in addition to saving children that have been sold into slavery, unless there's a plan to give them a purpose, to give them skills to create a life that they can survive on their own economically, educationally, they will only go back to what they know.
Okay.
And Durga Tree International is doing just that. In fact, right here in Tennessee,
how did you join that? How did you start that? Like the walk, for example.
the walk, Beth Tiger
Okay.
is the founder,
All right.
and she has different fundraisers through the organization with all of the people on her board, the people that support the organization. You can read all about it when you go on the website,
Okay.
durgatreeinternational.org, and
Yes.
see how you can help support this cause, because it is making a difference. There is a plan. And we have people in Tennessee that have been saved from prostitution and human trafficking, that are actually working, creating organic products that they are selling, where all the proceeds are going back into the organization to help rehabilitate, educate, and save these people so they can have a life.
So do you have to give donations to this organization?
We give
too?
donations. We
Okay.
help support by volunteering at different events.
Okay.
So there are many things that people can do.
Okay.
But the most important thing is to reach
Donation.
out and support.
Support, to reach out and to support.
Yes.
It's a wonderful endeavor.
Yes.
And I know that you love to serve.
Yes.
And now, going back to you, I think I cut you a little bit by, because you were explaining the elements. But I didn't want to forget about the walk, because I thought that was very essential and very helpful, and that you serve very well.
Thank you.
Do you want to go back to the results, the
The
breakthrough results? Yes.
So
for the book.
everything we spoke about today
Yes.
is part of my feng shui breakthrough. Because when we think that we need something to change for us to change, we might be quite surprised to find out that we're always who we were to begin with. So the things we expect the least are the things that bring the biggest change. And I thought, when I had this opportunity to write this book, that it was something new or something different, and it gave me an opportunity to reflect on my life, how easy this came to me, how someone introduced me to write this chapter, and it happened so quick. I find when I am just in my zone, when I am in my flow, that's how my life works.
Yes.
So if we let go of perceptions of things, thinking that something is stopping us, and all we connect with is doing.
I always heard it said by teachers that we get in our own way.
Yes.
Maybe you could expand that to the audiences out there.
So
How do we get in our own way by doing things? Like, let's say people say, oh, I want to do this and this and this, but I can't. I'm afraid. I might be too forward. how do you get in your own way? I guess I explained it a little bit, but you could expand on
Well,
that.
I got in my own way because I had an idea to write a book.
Yes.
I had almost everything prepared. All I needed to do was do some fine tuning and the mechanicals, but I didn't know how. And I got so lost in because I didn't know how that I got stuck. I did nothing. And when the opportunity to participate in this book, submitting my chapter, came along, guess what? All I had to do was write, and they did everything for me. So now I realized I don't have to know everything about everything.
Yes.
If I have a desire, follow that dream
Follow the
and
dream.
just do it. And then the things that I don't know, there are experts out there that do that part. And that's what it's all about, finding the support.
The support.
Yes.
It's very essential. So you get results. How do you get the results more often than not? Because people set up goals, but they really don't achieve the results they want. So can you expand a little bit on that too?
You want to do the things that make your heart sing.
Okay.
And there are things we have to do sometimes that may not be in our comfort zone.
Okay.
So we can look to see
I
how
agree.
can I do it my way? Do I have to do it the way of someone else? That's where I get lost. I think I have to do it the way someone else does it. And then I remember I'm not a bedroom set kind of girl.
I remember reading it in this book.
So if you want to find out about that, you'll read it in the chapter,
Yes.
Why I'm Not a Bedroom
Chapter
Set Kind of
15.
Girl.
Yes.
And how that will allow me to just do it my way. And doing something is always better than doing nothing. Einstein said, nothing happens unless something moves. So as long
Nothing
as we,
happens unless something moves. Okay?
So let's get started and do something. Take that first step. Find what drives you, what opens your heart, and just do it.
Do it. For example, I have a manuscript I wrote on Medjugorje, Bosnia, Herzegovina in Yugoslavia. At that time, Yugoslavia, now it's Croatia. And a lot of people are saying to me, what happened to that book that was supposed to show up? This man said I was going to have, he was going to help me with the book, but I just withheld that. It was the pressure of how much was it going to cost me.
Okay.
That was my main concern. But the manuscript is sitting at home, and it's a wonderful story. It's about how Our Lady appeared in Medjugorje, Herzegovina. Now, I think a lot of people that watch this show are families that pray, and they know of Our Lady of Medjugorje, a Queen of Peace, and Gospa Odmir, that's in Croatian. And she also says that families that pray together stay together, and to always, for the Catholics at least, but it's for everyone, it's for all the faiths, to pray together, especially the rosary, to pray it together, and then that will bring them together, as you mentioned, at the table, to synergize together.
And I have a suggestion for you. You have the manuscript and it's done. I think you should just step out and self-publish, because there are so many opportunities today for us to just get it done.
I should be listening to Lois more often.
And I will give you tips after the show
Okay.
to personally help you with your mission, because you can do it.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. So do you believe, going back to prayer, do you believe that you get results, to say the least, with prayers? Like when you pray that God, the higher power, that you do see the results, even if the answer sometimes could be different than you want?
When people come together with thought and spirit, whether it be through religious spirituality, when people come together with one pure thought, with pure love, everything is possible.
Everything is possible.
Yes.
When they come together with pure thought and love.
Yes, because
Yes.
love is our highest vibration.
Love is the highest vibration. We have 5 more minutes. Now, do you want to show where people could be reaching you? You conduce classes, you conduce seminars, and you also conduce these classes for meditation.
Yes.
Because I think the highest form of prayer is meditation, because you're actually listening to your heart, which God speaks to your heart, and then you get the answers that you need. Is that true?
Well, some people feel that way, yes.
Yes.
It's all very personal, our relationship with prayer and thought and meditation. And we have to all find our own way in which to do it. And anything you need to know is on my website, LoisKramerPerez.com.
There it is on the screen.
Classes, events, my book, all kinds of fun things, articles, things you want to learn about feng shui, meditation, and I offer as a free gift my 10-minute tune-up to all that visit.
Do you have a poem to recite? We have 4 more minutes. Something that you wrote that you would like to say about your book?
Well,
and with families?
I think it's a wonderful book because there were many different authors sharing within this book many different things about how to make our lives better. As I said earlier, between finance, between home improvement, insurance,
communications is a big one. Business.
There are many of us out there that are solopreneurs. How do we begin with an idea?
I like that, solopreneurs.
How do we begin with an idea and turn it into a business?
Yes.
We have to remember, we don't have to live in a vacuum. We can connect with our community, and there's always someone out there to help us. All we need to do is seek, and we will find.
And God wants us. The higher power wants us to serve in a way that He gave us talents to serve.
Yes.
And to understand and to recognize those talents so we could serve the world out there.
Yes.
First families, first ourselves, families, and then into a larger planet.
Yes, because we must be healthy in order to serve others. And what do they say when we're on an airplane? When they do the safety check, what is the first thing they tell us? When the oxygen mask comes down.
Put the mask first on yourself.
And then help the children and the elderly.
Yes.
Because if we aren't healthy, we can't help anyone else.
We cannot help anybody else. So the points are, before we end the show, the points for families out there are, and take them from this book too.
So we want to take good care of ourselves.
Take good care of yourselves.
We want to honor all who we love in our life. We don't want to take anything personally. We want to look at things with an open viewpoint, and we want to acknowledge people for who they are.
Okay, so thank you so much, and I hope you come back to our show. You are an excellent speaker, writer, feng shui practitioner, and I think you help a lot of people, especially with the walk for human trafficking. I'm going to say that because what is the name of
DurgaTreeInternational.org.
Yes. Yes, and you could also check my website, Maria Mirkovic, www.FamilyToday with mariamirkovic.tv. And the screen is right there, so you could definitely reach me at 201-314-9804. And now, dear viewers, I would like to conclude with this a little bit of a poem that comes to mind. Our greatest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our greatest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. And with this, I would like to say goodbye for now, and till next time. Bye-bye.
The path of